All right. Here we are.
Love
We're
the
on
music.
Wednesday night. We're here with the Brenda Warren. How you doing tonight, Brenda? So glad you're here. Doc, glad you're here.
I'm excited. I just was so excited about today. I just been like,
That's right. Well, what are we doing tonight, Brenda?
we're talking about doing business your way.
I'm going to
Love
do
it.
business my way. I'm so excited to be here that I'm going off camera.
That's right. We got to get rid of him.
That's
We need
right.
to get the Navy out of here. This Marine Corps
Get rid of
night.
that
That's what
guy.
we got. Yeah, we got Marine Corps night tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
Matt, Doc is gone. So now that's my signal to take it over because this is the takeover edition.
That's
and
right.
today we're going to turn the tables on you, Matt. So I'm going to ask you questions about Convene Communities and why you like doing business your way. So let's start off first by, for those people that have been sitting under a rock and totally do not know who you are, I would like you to introduce yourself.
All right. Wow. So my name is Matt Curran. I'm the creator, founder of this platform, Convene Communities. What is Convene? It's our online platform. It's an online application. What do we do in that application? We allow anybody and everybody to come on and share their purpose, right? So we call ourselves a platform with a purpose. That's what the platform's all about. But a little bit more about me. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, born and raised there in Raleigh, North Carolina. I went to UNC Greensboro to play baseball back in the day. That's where I met my wife. We've been married coming up on 29 years this year, been together 32 with 3 wonderful kids. Braden, 27, who works for Milwaukee Tools. Very proud of him. Megan, 24. She's in medical school at Georgetown. Lainey's 20. She's at UNC Chapel Hill. And so retired Marine, simplify there.
Right.
So I got medically retired at 14 years. I was a helicopter pilot. Flew the CH-46 Echo V-22 Osprey, got out of there, started a training program for the V-22, went on, flew air medical for 6 years for Wake Forest Baptist, left there, became the helicopter pilot for Team Penske NASCAR in Indy, fly Gulfstream 280 also for Penske now. And that's all to say, that's my side gig.
Ooh, that's a lot. I was excited about this today, Matt, because I was in a program this morning and they were asking some really cool questions that I was really looking forward to ask you. But today we're going to talk about 8 steps for making the most of Convene Communities, and we're going to weave in your story throughout that.
I love it.
The first thing we know, people have to sign up. But I want your thoughts on why you think it's a good idea for people to sign up for Convene Communities. We have all these other platforms out there that they can go to.
Yeah. There's a lot of platforms you can go to. We're used to all the social media stuff that's out there. We're used to all the other platforms out there, but there's some things that make Convene Community very unique and different than all those platforms. Again, we go back to we're a platform with a purpose. You look at the word convene. The word convene means to come together. The word, where are we going to come together? We're going to come together in communities. That's one of the things that makes us unique, Brenda, is that we bring people together in communities with like-minded people. So we get rid of all the other noise that you might find in other social media platforms. And we're bringing you into a space where you're really working with the individuals that you have something in common with. And, we always talk about inside of Convene, we all have a story. Our tagline, other taglines, real life, real people, real experiences. Often in life, we think we're walking alone, and we're not walking alone. We have a lot of people that we have a lot in common with. And so what a better way to bring people in and bring people in common communities with like-minded people that believe in what you believe in.
Now, when you first started Convene, I want you to go back, because we don't often talk about this. There was a time when it was just you with your thoughts.
Yeah.
And I want you to talk briefly about why what was that pivotal day that you said, I'm going to create a community.
Yeah. Actually, the pivotal day was I was speaking at Duke University at a conference, and I used to use Convene for business to business, just working with corporations, with hospitals, different companies. And it was all about me. It was my platform. It was me out there selling it. I had some great lucrative contracts, some great contracts that were making a big difference. But I was speaking at this big medical trauma conference at Duke University, and I'm there and I'm speaking in a flight suit because I was a pilot, and talking about decision making, crew resource management, team communications, leadership, all those things that that we talk about in the military and as crews and stuff. And it was it was great. I'm sitting there, I'm telling my stories. I'm talking about aviation stories. We're talking about how to work in a time critical environment, how to work in a trauma center. And when I got done speaking that day, everybody I had a line of people. And this is what you want, Brenda. You know this
Mhm.
because you're a speaker. When you get done speaking at a conference, you want a line of people that want to talk to you, right? Because
Yeah.
they loved what you said. And
Mhm.
I had a line of people that were there and they wanted to speak to me. And these are doctors, nurses, paramedics, you name it. None of them talked about working in the trauma center or in the emergency room. They talked to me about parenting. They talked to
Mhm.
me about their marriage, or they talked to me about their relationship. So they were taking what I was talking about up on the stage and they were tying it to their real life. And it kind of dawned on me that, hey, this is not just about working in a trauma center. It's not just about working in a high risk environment. It's about real life. You know, it's about us sitting around the table at night, and you're a mom, and I'm a dad, and us sitting around the table at night and going, me and you going, hey, Brenda, if you were in this situation, with Alex, how would you handle it? And you're saying, well, I'd handle
Mhm.
it this way, Matt. And you're talking to me through your life experience and your experiences that that you've gone through in that parenting. So I realized there was something a lot bigger to
Mhm.
what I was doing, and that if I could just take it and allow anybody and everybody to use it, that we could build something different, collaborative, special, and we could impact lives all over the world.
Now that brings me to number two. I have explore communities and join those that interest you.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I personally love about Convene is a diverse type of communities we have. That we have a deaf doula, we have the wellness community, and so many different things: yoga, wellness, fitness, finances, stocks.
Yeah.
What was it the feeling for you when you started seeing those diverse communities come
Yeah.
together?
So I always knew, as me being an individual, that I can only impact so many people. And that was the thought process, that if I let, Brenda Warren come in as the solutionist and teach people about entrepreneurship, that you are doing something that I don't necessarily focus on and do. When Lisa Herring comes in and she works with veterans and she teaches them how to file for their Social Security and disability benefit, that's not my expertise.
Mhm.
Um, so it's very special to me when people come in and they go off in whatever direction that they're going off and they're doing their thing. And you know what I love more than anything is when somebody gets a testimony from somebody that they
Oh,
helped
yeah.
and they say, Lisa Herring specifically, one that really sticks out in my mind is she got from a veteran. You and I love our veterans because we're veterans. When she got something, a testimony that said, "Thank you for allowing me to be a man again and to be a father in my household and to be a husband in my household. You just helped me get a check for $64,000
Mhm.
because you helped me file for my Social Security and disability benefits, and I got all that back pay." And this man was pouring his heart out to Lisa and saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Well, when Lisa gets that testimony, I get that testimony
Mhm.
because it was the Convene platform that helped her, go through and do the training and collaborate with that gentleman and help him through the process. And so you see a lot of special things inside of Convene, inside of the communities that are really, when it's all happening out there, it's as good as me doing it because we're all a big family here. And that's one of the cool things about it.
Now we have a strong veteran community here in Convene, but it's not the platform is not just for veterans, but I want to talk about why was it important for you to incorporate so many things that were geared towards veterans on
Yeah.
this particular platform?
Well, we're veterans. We see the struggle each and every day. We've had the struggle. I lost, the reason why there is a Convene today, there is this platform. It goes back to July 9th of 2001. It goes back to me sitting on the LHA deck on the New River in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and losing my good friend Clark Beatty in a helicopter accident. He was supposed to be in my helicopter that night, and they switched right before we took off. And unfortunately, they crashed, and he lost his life. And that was the promise I made, Brenda. You know the story. That was the
Mhm.
promise I made, that I would make it my life mission to help people not make the same mistakes over and over, to help people lift each other up. And So that's a veteran thing. The struggle's real for us veterans, some of the veterans that are out there. And so can we create that environment? We create a place where veterans know that they're walking alone, not walking alone, that we're here for them. And so there's a lot of veterans here, but we need more. We need a lot more. We need to grow the big community of veterans and create resources for veterans. There's a lot of amazing resources. We talk about it like going to the mall, right? If we could create that veteran resource where people are walking into the veteran community and all these great resources are out there for veterans, that's what we want to do. So we want to keep growing that.
My third thing that I had here to discuss with you was about engaging the community content and members. I love the discussion boards.
Yeah.
Being able to put a discussion up and get answers from people in my own community and all the other communities within Convene, and also to be able to do it anonymously if I'm not too comfortable with the question I'm going to ask. Why was that feature built in?
Yeah, perfect. And I got to say, Tom Dorney, one of our veteran brothers, just said it's an honor to be part of Convene. It's an honor to have you as part of Convene, Tom.
Absolutely.
Well, here's the thing. To me, one of the best things that we do in Convene is the discussion boards. And one of the big features of the discussion board is to allow people to post as themselves or post anonymously. Now, why is that so important? Because we don't always want to share our dirt. We don't always want to come out and throw ourselves out there and say, hey, if I went on there, Brenda, and I put, let's say it's a parenting thing, because I'll just go back to a parenting thing. Or let's say I'm struggling as a veteran or whatever, but we'll go with parenting. If I went out there and said, hey, I'm struggling as a parent with my daughters and going through this, and people see my picture of Matt Curran, and they're, oh, Matt, creator, founder of Convene, he's the main guy of this thing, and he's throwing his daughters under the bus saying that they're struggling with this.
Right.
I can even go on Convene, and I can go on there if there's something that I'm struggling with as a parent in parenting, using that example, and I can put that in there and say, hey, I'm struggling with this as a parent. Has anybody else ever been through this? Who's it written by? Anonymous. Nobody even knows it's me. And that's a key thing. We tend to have more open and honest and pure communication and collaboration and conversations inside of Convene because of that ability to post as anonymous or respond as anonymous. You can even respond anonymously to me and say, hey, I've been there. And you'll get that too. So if I'm posting at something, you might come in anonymously and say, hey, I've been there. I've been there as a parent. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're going through. And so we get these pure conversations, and we allow people to be much more open and honest in that. So those things like the discussion board are key. And we can put discussion boards everywhere, inside of Convene.
And they are.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I love.
Groups, communities, groups, experiences there. We incorporate discussion boards everywhere.
Another function of Convene, a part of engaging with communities, is that we have nonprofits within Convene.
Absolutely.
Which I think is an amazing thing that you've allowed to happen. Could you discuss that?
Yeah, nonprofits, everybody, look, a nonprofit is a business, and a nonprofit's out there trying to make an impact. And go back to what we're trying to do. We're trying to create this resource, and we're trying to impact the world, So people, you think what we call ourselves, a platform with a purpose. Nonprofits are purpose driven. If you're going to go out and you're going to start a nonprofit, whatever that might be about, is it a veteran nonprofit? Is it one that has to do with drugs and alcohol? Is it, we had a great interview on our podcast last week with a gentleman who is a faith-based group for motorcycles, has over 6,500 people that are out there doing things faith-based wise motorcycle. And he used to be an addict and all that. So there's so many good resources out there of nonprofits. Now, don't get me wrong. Convene there's a lot of education that goes on. It is a learning management system. However, it's also a collaboration system. You don't have to put any training content in there. You don't. You could just use a group as a gathering place, as a collaboration place, and nonprofits, they need that. The ultimate goal of a nonprofit is to bring people together around their cause, around their purpose. And so we want nonprofits to be a big part of us. I just got asked last night, I guess I can put it out there, part of Legacy Minded Men.
Mhm.
I'm going to be on their board. And we're bringing, and Legacy Minded Men is coming into Convene to bring men together all across the world. They have over 690 groups across the world. They're going to use Convene to allow all those groups to have their own group inside of this community. And that is doing a great thing. So we have the infrastructure. We want more nonprofits, and we're here to help nonprofits grow and spread their message.
And that leads me right into the part where we're going to really dig into doing business your way, which I love, because
Yeah.
the next thing about a way to really maximize the use of Convene is to create your own content and share it.
Yeah.
I want you to spend a little bit of time talking about experiences, and then I have some questions.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about experiences, and people are like, what is an experience? What are you talking about? So I've been in the education world and the training world as a Marine and all that. And how we learn is through experience. It's that plain and that simple. If you go look at adult learning theory, the ultimate goal is that we have a transfer of experience and knowledge to another person. And often, if I'm going to stand in front of a classroom, and if I'm going to stand in front of a group of people, I'm going to take a topic, whatever that topic is. I'm going to introduce that topic, and I'm going to tie it to something, a story, a real life story, a life lesson learned, or something, because I want to take this content and I want it to be relatable to you. So what a better way than a story? So if you think about all the different ways in the classroom that when you're growing up, if you think about, at church, and we're talking about, a parable, we're going to take that, we're going to tie it to today, a real world topic, So we want to take those. So that's why we call them experiences. Is the ultimate goal is to say, hey, here's the situation. It's scenario-based training, right? How you and I trained as Marines. Scenario-based training, I'm going to put you in this situation. I'm going to introduce the content, introduce the topic, and then I'm going to say, hey, Brenda, if you were in this same situation, going back to the parenting thing, if you were in this situation, how would you handle it? Now, here's what makes Convene totally different than any other platform out there. Most other platforms, I'm in receive mode. You're going to put your video content out there. I'm going to watch your video, and then I'm going to move to the next video. And then I'm going to watch it. I'm going to move to the next video. Inside of Convene, I get access to you because you wrote the experience. And so I get access to you. But two, I get access to everybody else that's inside of the group. And where do we do that? We do that in the questions that you ask. You ask the open-ended questions, the who, what, when, where, why. If you were in this situation, how would you handle it? Well, the way I would handle it might not be the same way you would handle it. It might not be the same way that Doc, would handle it because he's Navy. We would be closer in alignment than me and him. But the point is that you're going to get different answers from your different members. And now you as the student that's going through that or the person that's taking the experience, you're going to get to read their answers. And you're going to be like, oh, I never thought about that. Right? I never thought about that. Well, let's be honest. Again, I'm sticking on the parenting thing, but your answer and my answer, and then if we went to Dr. Mel's answer, are going to be completely different because we've been parents for a long, long time.
Absolutely.
You're a mom and I'm a dad, so there'll be some differences there. And, Dr. Mel has the baby Convene,
Yeah.
And so
Baby
she's
Billy
a
is
new mom.
just,
Yeah, baby
it's
Billy. So she's
still,
new at parenting. So we're going to all put different answers in there. We're all going to come at it from a different angle, but we're all going to learn from each other. And that's the key. So now we have that shared learning from each other. Then we're going to incorporate the lesson learned in there. If it's off of something that is a real life story, you're going to come back in that lesson learned and you're going to say, hey, I did this. Don't do this because this is what we did wrong. Or you might say, hey, this is what we did right. And it worked out perfect. Eugene Brown might say, hey, here's some trading stocks. This is what you need to do. I did it perfect. And this is how I succeeded. It's also the opportunity for the person teaching that experience to come back and say, hey, here are the main takeaways. Take away these three things from this experience. And so, again, we're giving you the tools to really incorporate your following, your people inside of that learning process. But you also have to understand that, yes, you might be the expert, you might be the content creator, but all of your members bring something to the table. And so you want them to do that. And then we add in test and, discussion boards in there and surveys as well.
Now, one of the things I've heard a lot of people really comment about is the fact that when they get training in Convene, they like that they have access to the people that teach the courses, that put in the experience, etc. But say that there's a time when someone comes in and maybe they want to break and they want to put a course that does not have a discussion board. Is there an
Yeah,
option to turn the
absolutely.
discussion board off?
So
Or
what
in
you
the beginning, like not use it?
in an experience that is, or
Yeah.
inside of a group? Yeah, in an experience, you get to pick and choose what you want to put in there. I could put in just everything has the experience background. That's like a page. That's your
Mhm.
introduction. That's you as the teacher standing up in front of the classroom and teaching. I could just go experience background with the video, experience background with the video, experience background with the video. You get to pick and choose. I can go experience background, add some questions. I could go experience background with just a lesson learned. I could go experience background with a test. So you pick and choose what you want. Now we have it where you can a la carte. I want this, I want this, I want this. And then we have other ones that are kind of that we've seen over time, like teaching a digital course or, giving somebody a test that you can just pick and they're already selected for you. So yeah, you pick and choose. You don't have to add all of that in. You can decide if you don't want questions, if you don't want a lesson learned, you don't want discussion board. It's all up to you, and you'll find different techniques.
Now,
But
there's someone watching here tonight or may watch on the replay that says, this sounds really good, Matt, but I don't know how to create a course, but I
yeah,
want to be a part of Convene. What do
yeah.
you tell them?
Well, there's two things: is just come be a member, right? Just be a member, be a part of it. That's one thing. We use the example of the mall, going to the mall. If you come into Convene, it's like going into the mall. And when you come into the mall, you go find your place. What are you interested in? You might not be interested in trading stocks, but you might be. You
Mhm.
might not be interested in learning how to be an entrepreneur. You might be. So you go find the stores that you're interested in. If we go into the mall together, Brenda, you're going to want
Mhm.
to go to, the women's stores. I'm going to want to go to the men's stores. That's it. So we're going to go and gravitate towards where we want to. I also say, not everybody is ready to
Mhm.
be a content creator, but you can participate and take the content. You can come in as somebody like there. One of the wonderful things about Convene is anybody can write an experience. You can learn how to write experience and anybody can write an experience. Let's say there's actually a wonderful experience in there about somebody who is dealing with depression. I have no idea
Mm.
who it is. They wrote it anonymously and many people have taken it. Well, you have that opportunity to come in and share your story, share who you are, and write it in experience and put it in there, and then it gets submitted for approval and it gets approved. Those are things that you can't necessarily do on other platforms. So
No.
you have the ability just to be a participant in discussion boards, and experiences. The other thing you can do, Brenda, that's pretty cool, is just come in and collaborate. And if you have something to
Yes.
offer, yeah, get with that community leader. If you're an entrepreneur and you have something to offer, get with you.
Mhm.
Maybe that becomes an interview like this for your community. It's content. You may not want to create a paid group, but you can offer something to the community and offer some content. So find collaboration. Find, um, you know, just be a contributor. Yeah.
There are many communities within Convene. And so step 5 of being able to make the most of Convene is to attend community events and participate in group activities. The ladies of Convene had a meeting recently that was phenomenal, and I really enjoyed that. I know that you gentlemen get together and have talks.
Yeah.
How are those events? I will say I know a lot of the events are virtual. And we're
Mhm.
going to get to Convene 23 and 24 in a little bit,
Yeah.
so don't go there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the community activities, how are they planned? Are they planned by the community leaders, the group
Yeah.
leaders, or
Yep.
combination?
So all of the above, right? So we want all of the above. We have convene wide calls events on
Mhm.
Monday nights. We have convene podcast on Tuesday night for mental wellness. We have this podcast every Wednesday night that's supposed to be to highlight members of the convene community.
Mhm.
And then before we had a call earlier, Brittany, you and I were on it. It's called the
Mhm.
Convene Platform Professional. So these are calls that are put on all the time. We also post a schedule sometime where we hold open office hours that you can just drop in, and I'm on there or somebody else is on there and we're teaching you how to use the platform. But
Mhm.
then the ultimate goal too is that it goes beyond that. The women have their own meetings. The men have their own calls and talks. Community leaders set their own calls. You have the life community, right? So you'll be having your own calls about teaching entrepreneurs. So that's your own little space, and so your members can come in. And then we have group leaders. We want group leaders to have their own calls. So the idea, again, Convene is a resource. It's just the platform. It's the tool. We want calls going on all over the place, and where people are just communicating, collaborating, and learning from each other, and getting together and fellowshipping and talking and supporting each other. So those are key. Those are key for us business wise for growth, but also just we're a big family. Supporting each other is also very important as well.
And you talked about the connections. That brings me into step number 6, which is connect with members and build your network. One of the things I valued most, Matt, was the level of servant leaders and professionals that were already on the platform. There's over 3,600 people on Convene.
We went over 3,700
they're
today.
growing. And
37 today.
okay,
Wait, say that again.
Say it again. Say it again.
3,700 today.
All right. So we are growing.
Yep.
And I don't despise small beginnings. So for someone that says, "Hey, I have more followers than that," that's great. But you do not understand where Convene's going, because this has been built from scratch.
Yeah, it is.
So when I think about the people that are in Convene, the level of networking that I'm getting there, how proud are you of the community that you've built of 3,700 plus people?
Yeah.
To start seeing your dream come to pass.
Absolutely. We've taken it slow, right? And we've done that on purpose, because when you create an online platform, you only get one chance to make a big splash. So we've taken the process really slow, having you come on, having Lisa Herring come on, having Eugene come on, and testing the process as we've built it. So just because we have small numbers don't mean we're not doing big things. We're doing big things, right? And we're taking it slow, but we're getting ready to bust it wide open this year. I'm very proud. I'm very proud that we've done it the way that we've done it. I'm very proud that of this family, and I'll call it a family that we built. We are servant leaders. The people who have come and stayed and continue to stay and be a part of what we're doing. They are servant leaders. They are out here, and the ultimate goal, again, a platform with a purpose, is to make a difference in people's lives. And they see the importance of offering this platform to people that's different and making those connections. And that's what it's all about. We lean on each other within Convene. We find the people that we know, like, and trust, and we really can be a big part of that community and that environment. So I'm very proud of the people that are here, And it's exciting, again, when I see the people that have making a difference in people's lives, and getting some of the private messages that I get, and all that. It warms your heart, because people are doing great things. And that's what makes us different. That's what will make this and continue to make this platform different than anything that's out there.
Now, I want to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart, because for 2 years, I was a member of Convene, and I did not create content. I did not attend anything. I kind of was like a little stalker that watched y'all, because I was like giving y'all the side eye.
Yeah, you're giving us side eye. Yeah.
But for 2 years, I was still making money in my sleep, and I had not spent a dime. So I want you to spend some time talking about how important it is for someone to utilize the affiliate program and create passive income, my favorite thing.
Yeah, let's talk about this, because this is one of the most powerful things about Convene, and Eugene Brown will come on here and say, when you understand, when you really understand what we've built here and the power of what we can do through the platform, it's huge, right? You can make money 4 different ways. And this is very important for people to understand. Brenda, you go out and you create your own content. So you create, the portal, you go out and you get Doc, and Doc comes in through your link, and he pays you to join the portal, and he's part of your training. You keep 100% of that. That's your money. You did all the work. Your content, your person that you brought to Convene, you keep the money. So that's one way. Then we get very collaborative, all right? And we want to help each other grow. It's my job to help every individual in Convene grow their content. So memberships, what other platform out there, if you go in and you create a membership, and what do I mean by membership? A community leader like you are, there's a little cost to that. Or you want to sell your content, Premier member, there's a little cost to that. So it's a membership, same thing that every platform out there has that's a learning management system. Well, we pay referral fees off of the membership. So as you go out and you grow this life community out and you're bringing Premier members in, Premier members in, Premier members in, every time they pay for that membership, you're making a percentage of that.
Absolutely. And I
Absolutely.
love it.
Yeah. They don't even have to be in your community. They can go over and create it in the, maybe you recruit somebody into and they learn how to be an entrepreneur from you, but they go over and they belong in the health and wellness community because they're a health coach and all that. You still make that same fee. So that's the next thing. Well, you're setting them up to run their own business inside of Convene. And Convene is a business system that helps you run your own business, right? It's the resource that helps you run your own business. Well, here's what's cool about that. Now I put a referral fee. You teach me to put a referral fee on that. And once somebody refers that course out, because you brought me to Convene, you're making money off of that referral fee because we break it down in 3 tiers, 40%, 15%, 5%. So now you're making money. You put referral fees on your content. So I go out and sell your content. I meet Doc. Doc wants to be an entrepreneur. I say, go over to the portal and take that from, Brenda, and you pay out a referral fee to me. So these referral fees are flying all over the place. And that's right. You go to sleep at night and then you wake up the next morning and you get this little email that says funds were added to your bank. Funds were added to your bank.
Love it.
Yeah. But the point is you're helping people grow. You're meeting people where they are. If you meet Doc and Doc says, yeah, what are you interested in, Doc? Well, I'm retired from the Navy. I sit at home a lot and I'd really like to learn how to trade stocks and be a day trader. Oh, well, we know a guy, Eugene Brown. He was Army and he's, from Uber to millionaire. He's got classes on that. He's not there to learn how to create a course from you and the entrepreneur course. He's over there. He wants to learn how to trade stocks. He goes and works with Eugene, pays for one of Eugene's courses or one of Eugene's coaching groups. You just made a referral fee off of that. And that's what happens all over the place. All over the place.
All the time.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this thing that I love. This is my 8th thing of the important thing for Convene is to provide feedback and interact with the leadership so they know what you are in need of.
Yeah.
I love the way you help me reestablish my community so that I can do it a little different than a normal setup. You're willing to work with me for that. How important has it been for you to get the feedback from the community leaders? Because in Convene, we have the larger Convene, then we have the communities, then we have groups and subgroups and so on and so on. But as we have grown, there's been an opportunity for improvement. How important has the feedback from the members been to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we've taken this slow. We've been very methodical about it. And the feedback is everything. So we're in the middle of building Convene version 3.0. You have the platform. It's working great. Everything's perfect. We can continue to press, but we know that there's things we can do better. And you always need to be taking feedback, So the feedback that our users have given us, that our community leaders have given us, has helped us know what we need to do next. And it goes both ways. The feedback that I give you guys helps like you said, the way that you need to go. So we have this version 3.0 that's coming out. It's going to be a mobile app. A lot of the things that, we're building the all-in-one platform. It's based off a lot of the feedback that the community leaders and the different members have given us that can it do this? Can it do this? Can it do this? And that's what we've done. That's what we've built. That's why we built the all-in-one platform. You're like, oh, what is the all-in-one platform? Well, it's a learning management system. It's very collaborative, right? So you have discussion boards and all those different things, blogs inside of groups. Everything is in a group. But we also have a CRM in there. And one of the things that the CRM will do going forward, it'll have email funnels. So that'll help you grow your business. And then we have project management. And people are like, project management. Well, we built the project management with a contract that we did with Boeing. So they asked for a project management. We built it. So that's in there. And then document management is everywhere with inside of it. So you can do everything. You don't have to go out to Monday.com, Trello, Dropbox, all those different things. You can do it all within here. We're excited about getting that up and running and the revamp that we'll be launching here within the next couple of months, few months. And it's going to change the way training is done all across the board. So we've been very methodical about it.
That's really good because that answered my bonus question that I had. I had a note down here. Utilize platforms, tools, and resources, which is actually was a good step to bring me into the actual discussion of business, doing business your way. When you first started this platform, Matt, I know it was about sharing experiences, telling stories, getting people a safe place to be authentically them and to share. But as I see it now, when I look at all the different communities, there are communities that are just specifically for that. But there are a lot of business people on this platform that are closing the gap between their desires and the reality. So let's shift gears. Now that we've laid a solid foundation about how Convene can support and how people can best utilize this platform, let's talk about the entrepreneurs themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
This community has some amazing. Lisa Heron, all hail to Lisa. Most people that's coming to Convene has come in because of her. And I love the way that we have the opportunity to each of us do business our way. Lisa has a program is set in stone pretty much for her. She updates it when she needs to, but that's her thing. Me, I've been all over the place. I've had so many morphs of my business, but Convene allows me to do business my way. So let's talk about the list of the doing business my way things I have for you. Number one, the importance of developing an entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah. You got, listen, this is what I think. In today's economy and today's society, you got to have a side gig. You got to be ready for something to go sideways on you, and you need to have some money coming in. You also, need to, so many people are out there and they're passionate about something. They just don't know how to grow it. They don't know how to take that passion and turn it into a business or turn it into something that they can grow. I always say that people come to Convene for two reasons. They want to be an entrepreneur and they want to make profit, or maybe they have a group and something that they're very passionate about, a nonprofit. Why can't you do both, Brenda? Why can't you be passionate about something and also make a profit? You can do both. And so you just have to break that mindset down, and you have to take your story, because most people's passion starts with a story. You have to come up with a strategy, get that strategy together on how you can do it. And then you have to have the confidence in yourself and the belief in yourself that you can grow something, and you can. If you talk about Lisa Herring, when Lisa came to Convene, she's a retired Social Security and Social Security disability claims specialist. She makes the most money on Convene for now, because a lot of y'all are gunning for.
We're gunning for.
Yeah, that's right. But she created a course. We helped her create it. We helped her build it. We helped her put it in. And that course went in November of 2020 when COVID was still kind of going. And she has done amazing with that course. Her community just went over 500 people. She's made a lot of money with that course, but she's also helped a lot of people succeed in getting that. You just have to have the belief in yourself. And then
I want you to sit right there for 1 second, Matt, because you talk about the belief in yourself. I just have to shout out. She's my shero. And I would say, I'm going to call her the mindset maven, because I remember the first conversation I sat in with her where she had no belief in herself and was doubting her own abilities. And now she is kicking butt and taking names, none other than the deaf doula herself, Miss Laurel.
Absolutely.
Talk about her. And because her mindset shift has caused her to now have franchise type situations all over the United States and abroad. Come on, whoop whoop.
And I'm glad you brought this up, because this is one of the, working with Laurel and helping build her community is one of the things that's kind of set a new trajectory for how we do business in Convene. When I first met Laurel, I was on a meeting, a networking meeting, and Convene is a networking tool, but I was on a networking
Mhm.
meeting, and this lady came in and was like, talking about being a death doula. And I'm like, what in the heck is a death doula? And I'm like, we're talking about death here on this call. But, without getting into too much what she does, she helps
Right.
people through the dying process and all that.
Mhm.
So I shoot her a message on the Zoom call that we're on. I said, "Can we talk? I'm interested in what you do." I get on and I say, "Well, what do you do?" And she explains what a death doula is, and she explains to me that, "Hey, I want to build a training course, and I got 2 modules in mind, and I want to build a training course." That's all she had in mind, is this
Mhm.
training certification on how to be a faith-based death doula. And a death doula is somebody that helps you through the dying process with directives, all your wills and all those different things, setting up your funeral, all those different things, helps the family, to give you a little idea. So I helped her create this program. And I said to her, simple question: "Hey, what are you going to do with your certified death doulas? Where are they going to grow their business?" "I don't know." "Well, why don't you create a community of death doulas, and why don't we create that directory of where you're franchising it, and they're able to have you have all 50 states, you have all these different death doulas, and now they're working together to grow a directory of death doulas all across the country." So now you're taking it from just a course, now you're franchising it. So over
Mhm.
here, she's training the trainers, training the mentors on how to be a death doula, giving them a space now to run their own business inside of the community, not just here in the US, but in Canada and abroad, down to South Africa and over in Europe. Now she's creating these death doulas, and now she's growing this huge community of death doulas, and it is just growing and growing and growing and growing. And it's amazing that you expand your mindset past anything that you thought was possible. And that's where she's at. She didn't think it was possible. She wanted to create a course. That's where we started.
It
Now
started with
she,
creating a course. And that brings me to our next part about doing business your way, because that would have never happened had she not had this conversation with this amazing man that is all about helping each and every one of us do our strategies. Do you know who that man is?
Doc, you coming on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. I'm talking about
Yeah.
you, Matt. One of the things that is unique to Convene is that people can, when they join the platform, they have the ability to come in and acquire your services,
Yep.
uh, because you have the ability to really sit down with people and pull out what they want to do. Just as an example, today, before we got on this call, I wanted to make some shifts in the solutionist portal, and you were able to help me figure out the right direction to go so that I stay on task, that I
Yep.
stay on mission, and that I'm not all out in la la land like I
Yeah.
tend to do when I get all emotional and want to just flip
Yeah.
the script again. Talk
Yeah.
about the strategic planning portion of Convene that you've established that is now causing another form of revenue for you personally.
Yeah, yeah. So I do a thing called the Accelerator Program, and I allow people, to come on with me, and in 12 weeks or less, we go through everything that you need to know. You start, we create your strategy. I teach you how to use the platform. We build your content in the platform, and you're off and running in 12 weeks or less. That's important because, again, a lot of people have an idea. A lot of people are very passionate about something, but they don't know how. Back to your earlier questions, they don't know how to turn it into something profitable. They're just starting that entrepreneurial thought process, that entrepreneurial business. So it comes down to very simple. I ask a lot of questions. I help you define what you want to do. And a lot of people, because Convene is an online platform, a lot of people can't visualize how that would fit into Convene. So we break it down on a whiteboard. If you were in my office, I had the whiteboard over there. We'd sit there and we'd draw it up on the whiteboard. But instead, we get on a Zoom call and I'll draw squares out and I'll say, okay, here's what you're saying. This is what it needs to look like. And so you see the layers of what you just talked about, but then I can take you into the platform by showing you either what I've done or somebody else has done, and says, this is how this translates into the platform. So then you can see it actually. And since I've been doing this, again, the people who have gone through it are the people that are making money in Convene. if I'm being honest. Those are the people who have the solid strategy and they're out there and they're implementing that strategy and they're getting, people coming in and buying their content and collaborating in their groups. So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah,
I
that's
think
one of
that's
my favorites.
important to note too, because as Marines, we both know that it is important to have a strategy, a
Mhm.
structure, and a system. And your training allows for that, which is why I'm real excited that you finally stopped just giving it away and actually
Yeah,
had a program that allows other people to come in and get that service from you. But
yeah.
I really want to ask a question too about the way you've been able to foster a strong sense of camaraderie
Mhm.
and amongst the team, because you got a lot of diverse people in the group.
Oh,
But the one thing that I'm clear on is I don't see any takers in Convene.
yeah.
3,000 people, and I haven't across anyone has done that. What do you attribute that to?
Well, the right people are coming to Convene. There have been people that have come and gone, and those weren't the right people for Convene. The people that stick around see, you can go on the Convene website. And somebody said this to me last night. I was talking with the legacy minded men. They brought this up to me. They said, "We love your mission, your vision, and your core values." Well, here's what's pretty cool about that. I didn't write those.
Mhm.
My team wrote those. I had them write the mission, vision, and core values. And those are across the board. So the people that are here are very purpose driven, like we said to begin with, Brenda. They're purpose driven and they want to make a difference in people's lives. They see that as what they're servant leaders. You said that earlier too.
Servant
We're
leader.
servant leaders, and so we are here truly to support everybody, and we all bring something to the table. That's the key, and we all bring something different to the table.
Mhm.
So there's no, you teach entrepreneurship. Well,
Mhm.
I'm teaching entrepreneurship with what we just talked about the accelerator, but I'm doing it in a different way. I'm talking about specifically the platform. You take it another step. So I don't do some of the things that you do. So if somebody needs that, I refer them over to you, you know?
Absolutely.
And so it's very important that we really help each other. Hey, are you a death doula? I'm not a death
No,
doula.
but I do
Okay.
refer people to a
Yeah,
deaf doula.
but you do refer people to. Do you know veterans that might need to file for Social Security and disability benefits?
I
Yes, we
do.
do. So it's all about lifting people up. It's all about providing these services. It's all about making a difference in people's lives. And that's the right type of people. That's what sets us apart. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to lift each other up. And that's why, I love the name Convene. We're here to come together and we're here to, make a difference in people's lives.
I like that. And that's why I'm so excited that the Solutionist portal is housed here on
Yep.
Convene. And I'm going to put a shameless plug in here. It's not shameless. I'm
No,
on
it's not.
link that one.
Yeah.
I am the leader of the Life Community, and that is the home of the Solutionist portal, where we're going to be helping entrepreneurs leverage their impact. And the portal is the paid coaching group that's going to allow people to take their business to the next level so they can close the gap between the desires and the reality. The collaboration is going to go on in there. The training stuff is going to be off the chain. I just can't wait to fill it up and start doing all the things that I know that I've been purposed to do. And with the strategies, the structure, and the systems that we've developed, and using strength finders, and it's just going to be an amazing. I can't
Yeah.
wait for it. But why we're getting off that subject right now, Matt, because I'm taking over. And we're going to put you on the hot seat. So I have some questions for you. Here's your
Hot
first
seat.
question. How will you spend your next time at the next travel location that's on your bucket list?
Oh, my bucket list. You know what? I have lots of things on my bucket list, but what I'm really excited about is that my family loves trips. That's one of the things that, my wife and I cherish is the ability to take trips with my kids. Um, and so we are in the process of planning our beach trip for the summer. We're going to go somewhere in Florida. We don't know yet, but yeah, just spending it with family. My son's 27, daughter's 24, daughter's 20. How much time do we have just with the Fab Five left? And or Riley, which is my son's soon to be fiance, coming. We're growing as a family, but we look forward to these summer trips. So my next big thing beach trip. There we go this summer. Can't wait.
Okay. Now, what is something you've recently discovered that you're excited about?
Oh, God, recently discovered that I'm excited about.
Mhm.
Well, I'm excited about this Convene 3.0. I know where Convene is going.
Mhm.
I know the vision and the mission and what we've put into place. I know because I had the conversations with each of you each and every day that how we're changing lives. And I look out and I know that people are coming to this platform and leaving the other platforms because what we are and who we stand for.
Mhm.
I'm just excited about where we're going. And I look forward. There's not a day, I've been doing this a long time, Brenda. There's not a day I don't look forward to coming in here and sitting in this chair, and
That's
talking
good.
to the amazing people that I get to talk to. So that's what I look forward to every single day of my life.
Now, I've had the pleasure, of attending in person Convene 23 and virtually Convene 24.
Yeah.
What is your plan
Yeah.
for Convene 25? Or are we going to have a Convene
Well, we're
24?
gonna have a Convene 24. We got, the goal is that we get together in the fall coming up here.
Yes.
And so here's the deal. If you're a content creator and you're somebody who has a story, you want to tell that story. I always throw this out as the example. This wonderful lady, Patty Muller.
Mhm.
Um, Patty Muller wrote this book called Renew and Restore. And in this book, she tells her story about growing up on the rivers and kayaking down the rivers and how sometimes it's smooth and how sometimes you go around the corner and the water starts picking up and then you hit the rocks and there's white water. And then sometimes around the white water, there's whirlpools. And then you come out of that rough water and on the other side, it's smooth again. And she's talking about life. And inside of this book,
Mhm.
she talks about, unfortunately, finding her father who committed suicide. She's talking about some of the rough things that she went through. Um, when she did her TED Talk, she didn't get to talk about this. She got to talk about changing relationships one word at a time. I want to give people a stage. And that's what the Convene events are about, giving people a stage to tell their story, to talk about who they are and talk about why they do what they do. The Convene events sit above the platform. This is my priority. This sits above the platform. The platform is just a resource that helps with that. So yes, we're going to have it. This is the priority. We're going to have big events coming up, and it's going to continue to do nothing but grow and grow and grow. And I truly believe that these events will take over TED Talks in the long run. I don't think small, Brenda. I think big.
I'm touching and agreeing with
Yeah,
you on that one.
I want people to be able to have that stage, to be able to get on that stage, to tell their story and tell their why. Why do you do what you do? And that's what Convene's all about is telling your story. Yeah.
What would people most be surprised to know about you?
Most surprised to know about me.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a great question. God, that's a tough question. Yeah. You know what? I think if most surprised to know about, whew, that's a tough one, Brenda.
I'm sorry.
That I'm a trained killer. I'm a Marine. I have no
Okay.
problems. Yeah, I'm compassionate on one end, but if you cross me, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna
Look,
hurt Doc.
yeah, no, you know what? That's funny, Doc. I see what you wrote down there now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For
Yeah,
those of you out in the audience that have no idea, we have this beautiful man here who's putting little fun stuff in the private chat so that he can just make me lose composure. But you know what?
yeah,
I'm going to continue with my
yeah,
final couple of questions because I have a couple of minutes left before Doc
yeah.
does the takeover himself. Matt, what would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you?
Oh, what would I do differently? Well, I've made some mistakes in life. I think we've all made mistakes in life, and to be honest, we sat there. This is a great story. We sat there with my family and we sat around a table and we asked the question of just kind of this question: what would you do different? And if you could be anything you wanted in the world, what would it be?
Mm-hmm.
And when I was sitting there, Megan turned to me and they all went around and they did it. And they said, she turned to me and she goes, "You wouldn't change anything, would you?" And I'm like, "No, I wouldn't." I think that I've been through some ups and downs. I've been through some lefts and rights. I've been punched in the nose. I've been punched in the gut. And I think that those life experiences have helped me turn into the man that I am today. Have they always been fun? Absolutely not. I wish some of those things had not have happened, but I also think that they've given me the empathy and the compassionate heart to know that that's my job, is to help people out and treat people with respect. God put us all here, and that's what we're here to do, is to help people out. So,
Matt, I want you to tell me, how is being the founder and creator of Convene helped you live your best life now?
oh yeah, it is just what I just said. When I see the people in Convene, when I get the messages of, hey, I sold another course. Hey, read this testimonial. Hey, and I see the success that people are having using the platform is just as good as me using the platform. I could have been very selfish. I was actually doing very well with the platform, working business to business. I could have continued to do that. But there's something bigger to what we can do with Convene, and that's why we're all here. I meet amazing people, Brenda, you and Doc, and all these other people, and everybody is a servant leader. Everybody's here to make a difference in people's lives. And I think what we're doing is going to change the way that things are done, all over the place. And it's people who are here for a reason, and people who want to lift people up and be that servant leader. So that's what makes me most proud, is when I see people succeeding.
Matt, I want to thank you for the opportunity for this takeover. And for those who have been listening, I want you to listen up right here, because here are the 8 things you need to do to make sure that you can use Convene successfully. Number 1, you got to join Convene. We're here for you. Then you need to explore the community so that you can find things that interest you. Then I want you to engage with the community and the members. Create content that you can share and use. Then we want you to attend the events within the groups and within the communities, connect with members and network, utilize the platform resources, make sure you become an affiliate so that you can create passive income, and like me, make money in your sleep. And finally, we want you to share and tell a friend. Tell a friend of me. Tell everyone you know that Convene Communities is where you go to connect, collaborate, because we are a platform with a purpose where real people living real lives, have real experiences, and we're waiting to greet you. Matt, back to you. It's all yours.
Hallelujah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Richard Kuhn says, where is this based from? Well, it's an online platform, convenecommunities.com. You can find us there. So different communities, convene.convenecommunities.com. We will be a mobile app here real soon. I'm out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina is where I'm located, but we have people all over the country, and different places in the world being a part of Convene right now. So we're really growing. There's to use Doc's, one of Doc's podcasts, there's nothing off the table. If you're looking to grow a community,
that's right. That's nothing off the table every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central.
There's nothing off the table. We literally are growing communities that are great. And if you're somebody who's creating a community where you have content and where you're trying to create a base of mentors, create a base of coaches, create a base of franchise base, with like what Laurel's doing, the infrastructure allows for that. And so, yeah, bring it. We want to grow. If you're somebody who wants to make a difference in people's lives, we're looking for many communities. That's what we're here to do. So,
and I'm excited, Matt, because the main thing is I want people to know, as the title states, you can do business your way at Convene Communities, and we have a lot of people to help you do it.
Absolutely. We do. And it's not just about, getting with me. That's the whole ultimate goal. You'll be growing your own life community, but literally in that life community, you're creating entrepreneurs. You're coaching the entrepreneurs. It's not about me or Matt Kern, although the interview was. People are just mentoring people and collaborating with people and growing with people all over the place. So there's, again, nothing's off the table.
I have 1 second, Matt. We got to tell. Don't forget to donate up there and support Doc because he does this out of the goodness of his heart. We'll make sure he's taking care. Remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely and always choose Convene.
That's it. Thank you, Brenda. This has been fun. It's not often that we turn the tables on me, but I really appreciate it. And again, donate to Doc. What you got, Doc?
I couldn't stand up, but hallelujah.
That was probably one of the funnest podcasts you've ever been on, Doc, because you're on with 2 Marines, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, this has been great, Brenda.
I
Thank you so much.
hate
Thank you
you.
for everything that you're doing. I look forward to seeing your community. I look forward to the back and forth banter that we have inside of Convene of
Yeah, it's a lot of
who's going to be
fun.
the top dog. Right
Yeah.
now, the queen of Convene is Lisa. So who's going to knock Lisa off? All right, everybody. Have a great night. Brenda, as always, thank you. You're the best.
Bye. Bye, Doc.
Thank you too.
Thanks, y'all.
Good night, everybody.